Gosh, because, okay, this is what also irritates me. I am so tired of these women calling me ugly. Okay, they'll call me ugly when I don't even know what they look like. Take off the 10 pounds of makeup, okay? No, seriously, if you're gonna insult someone's appearance, and they do the same thing to the men. They used to call Kevin Samuels gay. They would call him ugly. Like, I don't want to sleep with you anyway. Okay, before you do that, I want to see what you look like with no Botox for 3 months. I want to see what you look like without your waist trainer. I want to see what you look like without all the shit you put on your face.
Fillers.
The lip fill. Because when you think about it, it's really lying. Because you're telling the guys that, like, imagine.
I agree. Technology is only getting better and better. And because of that, people are now getting the anonymity to say things on the internet they want to say to your face.
This is why, guys, I had this argument even about date night. The key to a happy marriage is date night. It's like, what bullshit do you guys push? Do you think people in the 1600s were worried about a freaking date night? Like, I am just so tired of this pandering. It's just like pandering to women 24/7. You deserve the world. You deserve a date night for having one kid in public school. But you never hear staying in and cooking him dinner. You never hear that. It's always the date night with the women one.
Date night shouldn't be the purpose of a marriage. It's not the only thing. It's not the only key to a happy marriage. But it is pretty important in a marriage to spend time together and to love each other.
It's the abusive situation, and I need specifics. And like the reason I need specifics is women cry abuse for everything, and we've actually lost the meaning of abuse. Like, if you go to, and I know this because I'm doing a divorce documentary. And so I'm actually interviewing men that are in the process of getting like absolutely wrecked by divorce. And a lot of them have had false allegations put out against them. And a lot of those, basically what the feminists do is they expand the definition of abuse to include things like coercive control, financial abuse, and even physical abuse. A lot of times, like, girls don't talk about how they hit first. And most abusive situations are mutually abusive, meaning they're both hitting each other. And so a lot of times what girls will do is they'll say, oh, I'm being abused, but they don't talk about how she hit him first. Like, I had a girl on the show say I was physically abused. And I used to just believe women. Like, I would always just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. But then you start asking questions. And it baffles me how women, like, turn the situation of them like being abused when they aren't. Like this one girl, she came on my show, she said I was physically abused. I said, okay, tell me the situation. What exactly happened? She refused to leave his house. She refused. So she's trespassing on his property, saying I'm not going to leave, and he pushes her out of the house. Is that abuse?
No.
Or another thing that girls do is they'll edge a guy on. Like I saw a clip of a girl basically making fun of a guy for having a dead son. And he hit her. Who abused who?
I agree. Abuse has lost its meaning.
People watch it. Oh,
you're shaking your head.
No, I just think when we start making the same amount of money as the men, then we should get paid the same as the men. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. I don't hear the men whining about models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain.
I mean, I don't know if that's true about OnlyFans, because there are a lot of men on OnlyFans as well. But I mean, look, the main point here...
You think they make the same?
I have no idea.
She has a point here. So, in a working situation, right, if you are working the same hours, if you have the same experience, and you are working just as hard as the man, yes, in that situation, you deserve the same pay. But, however, in a working situation where you're working less hours, you have less experience, and you're not working as hard as the man is, then no, you do not deserve to get the same pay. She also made a good point, like there are some jobs where it is female dominated and females are getting paid more, and there are other jobs where it is men dominated and men are just simply getting paid more. Like that's just the way it is. Life is not fair.
50%. You'll see one day, and I've talked to women about this flip. You'll hit 50 and you'll be invisible to men. And because 90% of the men that are talking to you are trying to sleep with you. Like, gain 100 pounds, you'll be invisible. Get to 55, you're invisible to men. And so you putting yourself in those situations, it's disrespectful to the guy you're with. And he might not say it. He might not even have the courage to tell you this, but it's how they feel, and they can't help how they feel about it.
I agree with this. I mean, like, who is dating at 50 years old? Like, come on, let's be honest. Like, I'm not even 50 yet, and I feel like dating is exhausting. And yeah, okay, yes, I'm sure there are a few people who are still dating at 80 years old, yes, but you gotta remember, guys, exceptions doesn't make the rule.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, at least a man has options. I feel like women, our options are very, very limited. So even if a man's getting rejected, at least he knows, okay, fine, I can find another woman who is maybe like a woman that I'm interested in. But for a woman, it's very, very difficult. I feel like the options for men are very, very low.
It is not difficult. You just go outside.
It's true, but it's like, for me, it's not gonna be a guy that I want. Do you know what I mean?
But whose fault is that? Isn't that your own fault? Because that's your standard.
It's definitely not my fault. I'm not settling for anybody that I'm not attracted to or I don't want.
I agree with this. It's a lot easier for a woman to get sex than for a man to get sex.
If you're a virgin on your wedding night, you have an 80% chance of a happy marriage. It drops down to 25% if you've slept with more than 5. Most guys would pray for 5 nowadays. And there's some studies that say as a virgin it's 60-70%. I know people will come for me on that, but the point is still the same. You're more likely to have happy marriage if you're a virgin than if you slept with more than 5. It's like 5 to 7 seems to be when you're ruined as a woman, statistically. Anyway.
Again, if you look at data, one of the top reasons for unhappy and broken marriages is finances. It has nothing to do with, were you a virgin on your wedding day? Like, it's kind of silly, bro.
Even the idea that men need women, men do not need women. Men do not. Jesus did not get married. He did not have kids. He didn't do it. Some of the greatest saints did not get married and they did not have kids. Women should not be rewarded with marriage unless they deserve it. They should not be rewarded with men's time and attention. And guys, we have these women running around like brats. I just saw a woman have a grown woman have a full-blown temper tantrum in an airport. I swear, we both missed our flight. I missed my flight and so did she. And this woman just got on her back and started screaming. This was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Generally speaking, humans could survive without a lot of things. They could survive without morality. Humans could survive without technology. Humans could survive without money. Humans could survive without Lambos. If we are only specifically talking about surviving, the human species, man or woman, we could survive without a lot. We just want more because it makes our lives more convenient. That's all.
I have an opinion that I don't know if you guys would agree with. I think women should really pay for their own kids, okay? Because I'll tell you what, it's like, okay, the average woman gets married at 30, has 1, maybe 2 kids. You've had a decade to save money. Why can't you pay for it?
What?
Why can't? No, seriously. You have a decade. You have a decade to save money.
Because
get yourself in a family.
Listen, pal, we have biological clocks.
On top of that, no, I'm serious. But women, right now, women are choosing. We're choosing. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying this is what we're doing to wait till 30 to have a child.
Yeah.
Okay. To get married and have kids, we're waiting. Okay. Fine.
100. Yeah.
But you've had a decade to save money and get in a financial position to pay for it.
Yeah, this one is gonna be a no for me, sis. At the end of the day, it takes 2 to make a baby, so both should be responsible for paying for the child.
Bigger girls, they don't want to date bigger guys. Look at Lizzo.
Lies, because it sounds like your issue lies in, okay, cool, if you're going to be fat, fine, but it's like, know it, own it, and be okay with the limitations.
Okay,
also, we're talking about observable reality. We're not saying that women who are bigger cannot find love. You can. However, as a result of the fact that you're bigger, your pool of men has become smaller, unfortunately.
I'm not denying you. I'm really not denying that. But where I have an issue is pushing any narrative that makes it seem like they're not deserving of the man that they want.
But they aren't.
You are deserving. Just do the work to get
No, I'm saying you're not deserving if you're obese. You don't deserve a guy that makes 6 figures if you're obese.
I don't think anyone is entitled to find a partner. There is no soulmate. No one is entitled to have a partner. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Even friends, I'm not entitled to friends. If I'm the biggest dickhead here, no one's going to like me. It's just a fact. I can't be saying, why do people like me? You know, you can't be.
I don't really think deserve is the correct term to use here. Now, do I agree that between thinner girls and bigger girls, most guys would want thinner girls? Yes. Do I think that a big girl should demand a 6-foot guy? Sure, demand a rich guy? Should a big girl demand a guy that's out of her league? Absolutely not. But I wouldn't say she don't deserve love. If a guy meets a bigger girl and he genuinely likes her and wants to date her, and she likes him too, then yes, they deserve each other if they truly like each other. Now, if he's one of those douchebags that just try to date a fat girl and embarrass her, then hell no, he's a douchebag. Then no, they shouldn't date each other. But if both of them genuinely like each other and genuinely want to date each other, then I don't see why not, and I don't see why she wouldn't deserve him or why he wouldn't deserve her. Because although it is the exception to the rule, there are very few guys out there that are generally into bigger girls and would prefer bigger girls over thinner girls. It is possible, yes. And if that is the case, I want to see why they wouldn't deserve each other. I think Pearl just used the wrong terms here, honestly.
The conversation I'm looking for is college overall has become watered down. It's become sort of pointless to many extent. College debt is out of control. It doesn't offer as much value it used to offer. You're not necessarily unique if you go to the 4-year university and you graduate. Hey, I'm college. You're not guaranteed a job. But should women specifically not go to college?
I would say most women shouldn't. You know,
what women would? What women would you suggest to go?
Engineering's probably a good degree. You know, I don't think most women want to do it, but.
Ladies, if you're watching this, if you want to go to college, then go to college. It's not that big of a deal.